Hello, my children. I look a bit rough. I just got off from work. I'm not having the bestest of days, but gonna turn out a video for y'all, no matter how I feel. No, no matter rain or shine, this bitch here will keep on moving. I will say it again. Hello, my children. How are you guys doing? I hope your guys' Christmas and New Year's went amazing. And mine went alright. I decided to tune into a little show that was having a finale, and this is what the entire video's topic is going to be about. And I know it's going to be very different from what I normally talk about. Normally, I talk about video games and things around video games, being RAM and stuff like that. But no, my hairline looks fucking awful. I don't give a shit right now. We're talking about Stranger Things because it is something that has been driving me absolutely bonkers, and I'm gonna explain why. There was an entire thing. Okay, first of all, I had started watching. I'm gonna put you guys down a little bit. I had started watching Stranger Things about before season 4 was around. So I watched up to season 3, and I was like, that's pretty good, pretty good. I like where it's at. Let's see where season 4 takes us. Season 4 rolls around. Fucking love it. I'm gonna say this right now. Season 4, best it gets. Right below that is season 1. Then I think 3 or 2 or 3 are interchangeable, and then 5 is at the bottom. I don't know. Maybe 2 is above 5. Maybe 5 is above 2. I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch them all, but I am not unemployed enough to care about that. But anyway, here's the thing. There was a huge thing about a lot of the stuff that happened in the finale during and after its premiere and eventual wrap up, and I wanted to talk about it. So here we go. This is my opinions on some of the stuff about the show, and first thing is gonna be plot holes. My God, there is so many. Also, spoiler warning for the entirety of Stranger Things going forward. If you don't want to know any spoilers, go right on ahead. If you don't care about Stranger Things, I understand. I completely understand. And if you just want to sit here and listen to me bitch for like maybe 10-ish minutes, join me. Join me in my conga line of anger that I'm gonna have. Not really that angry. I'm actually quite calm at the moment. But let's get into the first thing. Plot holes. First thing, Stranger Things fans. I'm concerned with some of you because some of you I don't think know what a plot hole is. Like at all. Some people were saying that the picture that Mike was that was it Mike? Quick little Google. Sorry, just got off work. No, it's not Mike. Will. That Will made Mike. And what I typed in to get that is Stranger Things Mike's gay lover, which they're not gay. One thing is this. People were saying that the fact that Argyle not being in season 5 was a plot hole. There's like a crank that they turn at one point to revive, like to shoot electricity from this radio tower into a fucking Demogorgon to get it and fucking like come alive like it's fucking Frankenstein. And like, anyway, there's this like little like gauge meter that you see that slowly goes up, and it goes from red to black or something, and people were saying that was a plot hole. The door handle turning from one side to the other was a plot hole. The mother not having makeup on that looked like her scar was a plot hole. And then you've got the one that objectively isn't a plot hole, you just didn't pay attention to the story, was a picture that Will had drawn of like a D&D campaign thing for Mike, and he was like, "Oh, here you go, Mike. This is you. You're the leader. You're awesome, Mike." And then, well, you want to know what that was for, Stranger Things fans? It was supposed to be an allegory for like his feelings towards Mike. What the fuck else was it supposed to come into? That's not a plot hole. That's just a one-time thing. Just because something's mentioned once doesn't mean it's gonna pop up again. Um, it's really not that big of a deal, honestly. But like with the whole thing with like different fucking like door handles changing and the meter changing. There's a fucking Adidas logo on one of the fucking characters at one point. Something tells me that fucking, I don't know if it's Adidas, it might be Under Armour or something. Something tells me that Vecna ain't fucking like employing the latest kicks in his plans, so I doubt that was intentional and they edited it out apparently. But then they're like, oh, they didn't edit out the red meter and some of the other stuff. That means it's true. First of all, you know how fucking hard it is to edit out some of that stuff? A lot harder than one of you guys make it seem. And I get it, it's Netflix, they have basically an unlimited amount of budget, you would think, but knowing Netflix, they probably gave them 2 sticks of gum and like $1 million to make it, which isn't a lot, but still, not a lot in terms of filmmaking. But anyways, back to the whole thing. You guys are just overthinking it. Most of that stuff is just like camera work can be just odd, or how they just set it up in one filming session compared to another. That stuff happens all the time in movies. You can easily go back to any movie, like most movies in existence, and even like sometimes like there's like these special editions versions of the movie where it just zooms out a tiny bit more, and sometimes when that happens you see boom mics. Is that a like plot contrivance? Why is there a boom mic? Is this the Truman Show? Oh no, it's because guess what? It's a fucking movie. Sometimes you're just gonna have oopsies like that. Like, whatever. It's fine. And then you've got like the we'll get into the conformity gate shit here soon. That shit just makes me die laughing. But it's just like there's some of the stuff isn't plot holes. Some of the other stuff like the Demogorgons not being there, yeah, that's a plot hole. In my opinion, would have been way better. And you want to know something? How you fix the military, honestly, and the Demogorgons and the Demobats, maybe the Demobats, probably some Demo Dogs, is this. You have the fucking military. You ready? You have the military fucking come to some sort of agreement with the gang about, hey, we kind of don't want another planet fusing with our own, so I guess we'll help you guys. That would probably be bad to the U.S. government, no matter how much we hate the goddamn commies. Like, I get that Nixon and all the others were kind of, like, I would think they would have some mental fortitude to be like, yeah, probably be best, like, if we stop that before a goddamn plant turned into strawberry jam, but you never know. But anyways, you could easily have that happen. The military could have helped with like an epic battle, and if anyone says it wouldn't have been scary, I want you to sit there and tell me that a horde of Demogorgons surrounded by a fucking flesh monster wouldn't have been scary. And then you could easily have like Elle's sister help him out and actually make her an enjoyable character instead of being the most annoying. And I mean this. She was the most annoying character to me. She was as bad as Hopper. And if you don't know, we're moving off of this, and I want to talk. We're moving off plot holes, and that's how you could have fixed the plot holes. Get the military involved, and then like somehow, like it would have been a lot more powerful if they like Vecna was like being attacked by Will on the inside, and he like took out the thing that was like connecting them, and that's how it severs the connection, so that way he doesn't kill Will. That would have been a lot cooler. So then that way Vecna could have like, you know, not been harmed by Will, or Will wouldn't have been harmed by Vecna, or Vecna couldn't have like been harmed by Will by like telekinetic broken legs and shit. So in turn, you could have taken that and then had like a thing where Elle and her sister kills Vecna in it, or like damages him to the point that like he's about to die, and then still Joyce or whatever her name is I'm pretty sure it's Source, kills him, which, amazing part. Again, that was amazing. I like that she was the final person to give the final blow. He's kind of one of the things that ruined our entire life for a while. But yeah, that's how I would have fixed it. It's not perfect. This is like me coming up with that out of the blue. I, I'm sure if you gave me a budget, I might be able to come up with something better than whatever the fuck that final fight was. Because it was just a stab in the taint, throw some fucking, I don't know, get like a thing of cologne that you used to spray on yourself as a kid and just hold a lighter, like that one trick you used to do, and you just shh. Mind Flare's dead. But anyway, the characters. I'm going to say this. Two of the characters, I love Hopper. I love him. And Eleven's sister, which I don't give a shit enough to even Google her. Both had annoying parts, mainly because they're just like, I'm going to fucking just blow myself up. And it sounded like they were like just wanting to die. Like, goddamn, Hopper, you want to die that much? Just like, I don't know, wait till we're all like safe to do it. And then you've got Elle's sister that's like, I hope you, it was every fucking scene after they did anything. Remember our plan. We've got to die, Elle. Don't you fucking forget that you gotta go into this goddamn void with me, you bitch. Like, she was I'm being slightly hyperbolic, but she was constantly doing that shit. And I'm like, dude, shut your bitch ass up. I don't give a shit. Like, I honestly haven't cared about you since you were introduced. Okay? Anyways, and then you got Hopper, like, being a fucking, having these bombs strapped to him, being like, I'm just gonna walk into the room and press a button and I'm dead. Which I get it, that played into the whole thing of him helping destroy the Upside Down, which I'm gonna say this. I'll get into what I like about the series here in a sec. A lot of the characters other than that were good. I really liked how a lot of them turned out at the end, and how they progressed as characters. I like how, contrary to how some people like it, I liked how Dustin was like kind of more gritty and angry. It was a different like side of Dustin. He progressed throughout the entire series. Even though I'm with Steve on this, Eddie didn't need to do that. Like, he was just being stupid. He got himself killed. But anyway, even if I'm wrong, I don't care. Eddie was just not my favorite character in season 4. But anyway, it was like a lot of the characters are really good, and then you've got like the only one I will say was kind of just wow. I almost don't care about you as much as Elle's sister is Jonathan. He does only one good thing. Two notable things. One I didn't really give a shit about, which was Jonathan and his girlfriend at the time's like anti-marriage thing, anti-proposal, where like they break up and it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then you've got you've got where he saves Steve from falling and saves him from dying. That's awesome. That was like a whole thing where they're having a rivalry and he finally puts it aside to save him, and they like come together and like help each other and stuff like that. It's awesome. I like that. But other than that, there's not much. This dude is a plank. I could have, that dude from Ed, Edd n Eddy with the board? It felt like they were like Steve and Nancy, I think that's his name, was like holding a board of a human. It's not the actor's fault. Amazing actor from what I can tell. Hope you get employed in more stuff. But it just felt like that he was just a board. He did next to nothing. Sorry if he did. I don't fucking remember because it wasn't that important. Anyway, moving on to my favorite character, Steve. Steve is my favorite character. Moving on from that. But yeah, okay. Overall, the progression of the characters I liked, and then how they ended up I really liked. I really liked how their ending was, except for Elle. And I'll get into that here in a second. But you know what? No, I'm going to talk about it now. I feel I like the idea that they almost left it ambiguous, but they almost don't, because multiple times in advertisements, they just say that Elle lives. Like in Jimmy Kimmel's show, they just say that she lives, and it's like, what's the fucking point? Just like, I don't know, don't say it and don't confirm it. You ever hear of like what you're thought of is like more horrifying? The more horrifying conclusion in my head is that she was sucked into this vacuumless like space, and it was just her just sitting there, like, alone at the end, and then she's sitting there and just dead. That would be way more scary, and that's, in my opinion, what happened to her. It makes what happened more meaningful and everything. Her sacrifice actually matters. But anyway. Oh boy, oh boy, there's not enough time in this video for me to mention everything. Sorry if it's a little bit scatterbrained, but I hope you guys are liking so far. Give the video a like. I won't ask to subscribe yet. We'll do that later. Okay, buddy? Father Paul's got you. Papa Paul, if you will. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't love the entire series. I'm gonna save that to the end because I want to end on a positive note. Um, and I wanted to talk about this mainly because there was a theory going around. All this kind of ties into a thing about a theory that was going around the internet called the conformity gate theory, where it was a theory that the end of Stranger Things wasn't actually episode 8. It was actually a secret episode releasing as of the time of this recording yesterday. You want to know what fucking happened, viewer? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. A lot of YouTubers, TikTokers made videos saying, oh, conformity gate confirmed. There's a 7 rolling on a D20 next to the poster of the movie at the end. And you want to know why, guys? It's because the whole thing with the 7 that you guys keep saying is proof of it is, guess what? They put that there because fucking Will rolled a 7 in their first goddamn campaign we saw. Ain't that deep. It is just a reference to that. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you. Good night. That's it. And there is multiple things in like conformity gate where it's like a 1 and a 7. Do you know how often numbers, I don't know, 1 through 10 are in anything? Why do you think the whole thing with 6, 7 became so popular? Do you know how often you, like, whenever you're like, yeah, I don't want to give a middle number, I'm going to give, like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 times out of 10, this will happen, or, I don't know, let's meet at 6 or 7, because it's like an okay time of day. It's late, but it's not like dead of night type of shit. But same thing. 1 and 7 can appear in any amount. I could have like 7 things over here that you guys would count out and be like, oh, Netflix hired him. Conformity gate confirmed. Buddy, I wish I had that money. I would fucking leave the earth. I'm joking. I would probably still make videos for you guys because I do genuinely like this. And hopefully I can make it into a job one day. But to be seen, viewer, to be seen. But anyway, there is so much copium with this series that it is goddamn insane. I have been part of so many communities where we have thought we were going to get something, and guess what? We don't. And I get it. It's painful for something to be over. And it is more painful to just leave it how it is. But do you know, like, for example, Gravity Falls. You guys are just like Gravity Falls people where it's just, like, constantly. Like, if you believe in conformity gate, you are the same people that believe that Gravity Falls is coming back. It is. I think it might be coming back. I don't know if the creator confirmed that or not. If it is, cool. If it's not, point still made. It is just a perpetual thing. About every year you hear about something with Gravity Falls. Is it coming back? Is it not coming back? And honestly, I would say that Gravity Falls had a higher chance of coming back before Conformity Gate happened. Because there is no way that they were going to have that big of a turnout in an episode. Like, they were going to go, okay, boom, next episode, everything's resolved. First of all, in order to get everything resolved in one episode, it would be like a 5-hour episode. You know how fucking... I can't even stand to watch The Batman. And that is an amazing movie from what I've heard. And that shit's too long. And I know, I just sat through... I marathoned the entire thing. And you'll be like, but you marathoned an entire series. I'm weird like that. I can't stand fucking something so slow paced that makes me want to jump off a fucking high story building. Like, goddamn. My nose is congested. But yeah, there is like so many people that were like, you're stupid if you don't believe in conformity, guys. And then when it hit 12, people were like, guys, give it a minute. You never know. We'll just see. It is on a 6. Let's give it to 6. Oh no, he did roll 7, so maybe it's 177. And then when it turned like 7, nothing. Turned 12, nothing. Wanna know why that was? Just a big fucking coincidence, bud. And also, some of the other things, I'm going to say this, is people sitting the same, like Henry did. Let me tell you this. That is a formal way to sit, buddy. So I'm going to tell you right now, that is a very formal way to sit. I don't even think we see Henry sit much, and like, it's the same posture. How would you know? It's not like he sits in every scene like that. In fact, the only time I remember him sitting is when he's like home with all the other kids. Like, yeah, that's it. And also, just going to say this, in a public setting, a lot of people mimic what other people near them do. Do me a favor. Anytime, keep track of how many times you do this. You ever notice you like cross your arms because you're like listening to someone, right? And they're like talking to you, and then like you notice the person next to you is also doing the same thing. You want to know why? 2 things. One of 2 things. It is a very common posture, and 2, it is also a very common thing to do when you're listening to someone. Just like this, posture is a very, you can't see it, but I'm doing that, is a very formal way to just do something. And it's the 80s. It is just a ceremony, so a lot of people are just putting their hands in the lap, just like, whatever. I'm here. It ain't like everyone's sitting there like, or something like, oh God, more like noticeable. And then people are also saying like the haircuts are similar. Buddy, you could say I have a similar haircut with some of the stretches that they're making. Dude, it's the 80s. Not many hairstyles were that different. Like, oh my God. Like, it ain't that big of a stretch to just say, you ever hear of like, I don't know, the 80s cuts? They were pretty much the fucking same. Like, goddamn. Sorry that like not everyone can have like a low taper in the fucking crowd. And then or like afros and shit. Like, give it up. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to say this, if the Duffer Brothers release an actual episode 9 at this point, I'll be pissed. Just leave it the fuck alone. After the spinoff and the fucking TV show, Tales from 85, leave it alone. I think it is a perfect place to leave it, and I knew they were going to milk it when I saw the release thing of it, because I was like, oh, they're just going to release it all. Cool, and maybe like wait for the finale like they did the last one. Awesome. Can't wait. No, we're going to do one this time, and the final. And I was like, oh, why not just do it weekly at that point, you stupid, stupid bitch. But whatever, they need to make money off subscriptions so people will stay tuned in longer to keep subscriptions. I get it. It's a company. They've got to make money, people. But still, I was just like, I'll wait. I got hyped for Squid Game Season 3. It wasn't that good. Whatever. Or Season 2. Is it Season 2? I don't know. That shit was okay at best. Then we're going to get... Because I want to end... I've been nihilistic a little bit about this whole thing. I get it. Hit me over the head with a shovel. I'll bleed, I promise you. I'm getting a bit tired also. So I'm getting a bit more... like, not clever-witted, if you will. I understand I'm not that clever. Most people would say I'm not. Fuck you is what I gotta say. There's your fuck in the video, for anyone that likes to keep track. Probably no one, but... what I liked overall I'll be honest, I liked a lot of the series because unlike most people, I'm not a fucking sheep and don't just latch on to the first opinion and be like, they're right, this shit was so ass. I didn't have any fun. I didn't like anything about this. You're so right, King. If you can't find a fucking single thing that you liked in episode 1, why'd you keep watching? Most people that watched it weren't paid to watch it. So stop. For your own sanity, if you hate it that much, leave. Please. Why do you do this to yourself? But God, anyway. It is just like so many people are so like negative nowadays about shit that when I heard how bad like some of the stuff was, I was like, there's literally no way it can be that bad. And it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. There was no reason for the hate it's getting. I get that some of the stuff near the end, like the last episode, is bad. Like, I'm going to say this right now. The coming out scene with Mike, I'm going to get this out of the way. Fucking stupid. I'm not saying that him being gay is stupid. That's great for him. I have a gay brother. More power to you. If you like dick, you like dick. If you like pussy, you like pussy. Not my business. I don't care. You like what you like. I like what I like. If you don't like any ice cream flavors, go to Wendy's then. I don't know. That's a thing about ace people. Not a joke, but like saying you'll get it if you have a brain. I promise. But anyway. So that whole thing with Mike, by the way, felt like a fucking Hallmark movie. Like him being like, I get like people supporting you, and I get like it's a Netflix show and they want to pick like be inclusive, and I get it. I understand. I'm not saying that his friends like Steve should have like picked up a chair and fucking started. What do you mean you don't like girls? What do you mean? No, of course not. Like, what if should have happened is like a bit more confusion. I don't know. I get that Robin's a part of the group, and like Steve, in my opinion, I don't care. I don't think would care because again, Robin, he's been exposed to that and he doesn't care. Maybe like his own brother's just like, give his brother a fucking. You know what you could have done with that? Make his brother almost like disgusted about it, and then later on, guess what? A Jonathan character development, which I would have liked to see, other than the marriage shit, which guess what? I could have predicted the entire time. Because why the fuck would you marry her at that point if you guys are that strained? But anyways, where he is like learning to accept his brother for who he is over the course of the show. If they did it like earlier, I don't know if it would have been the right move, but I feel like it would have been the right move. But anyways, I'm not a fucking writer for Netflix, and I'm doing this in 30 minutes now, which, holy damn, this is taking longer than I thought it would. But yes, I feel like it could have been handled so much better. It felt like a Hallmark movie. But anyways, back to the shit that I like. I liked a lot of the characters. I like Steve, like I've said. He's an awesome character. He had a lot of character development, in my opinion. Not a lot, but a decent bit. A lot of the characters, I liked where Destin was. I liked where like a lot of the stuff went with a lot of characters, like Mike. The thing is with Mike is he feels he's the main character, but he doesn't really go anywhere. But to be fair, I feel like a lot of his character development happened earlier. So it is nice to see like other characters develop over time, like Max coming to and stuff like that. I didn't even mention Max. I think she should have been dead. But it would have made things so much better if she like sacrificed herself for Holly, and that was like a poetic moment and like whatever. But anyway, I feel like it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. It's enjoyable. I like the characters. I keep saying that because I'm so tired. But the action set pieces are usually good. Aside, again, from the ending, it could have been more. And I know it's kind of selfish of me, I think, a little bit. But then you've got like the actors that they got in it were amazing. I loved seeing their performances. They got the fucking Terminator lady to come back for it. Don't remember her name at the moment, but she was awesome in it. I liked how much of a bitch she was, and the new kid actor and actress that they got in it was amazing. I liked the fact they brought back kids into the story and about how it was about them instead of like the characters and those characters I liked. I feel like the spinoff show would be about them. I've said characters so much that it's just like losing the meaning. It's like a bunch of white people throwing their own like barbecue, but they keep saying mayonnaise so much that it's lost all meaning. But and I will say this, I'm gonna end it on this. What would I have changed? Easy. Not a perfect person, not claiming to be, not saying I could have written it better, but my opinion, a lot more people should have died. It should have been more than just Elle's sister. I get it. You wanted some emotional connection between her, but I'm gonna be honest, I fucking hated the bitch. Most people didn't like her. So in my opinion, they should have killed, in my opinion, one kid and one fucking of like the grown up or like babysitter group, and that would have been perfect. If you did that, most people, in my opinion, probably wouldn't have given a shit about the ending. Not the ending, but it would have had more meaning. You know what I mean? But that closes up a good bit of what I wanted to say. If I stream here soon, I'll talk about it more. But anyways, this is just like a video. I just want to ramble about this shit. I get that I make video game content most of the time, but I just want to try something new. Plus, I'm having almost like a writer's block of what the fuck to do next. I have ideas and I need to get them in the motion. But anyways, more videos here soon. I promise. I love you guys. And please like, comment, and subscribe. I told you guys I'd say it later. Oh, Jimmy in the back. I got you. Don't worry, I got you, big boy. But yeah. Thanks, guys. If you've listened to the 31-minute rant, I really do thank you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. All right. See ya.